For the people listening, what is PMA?
Positive mental attitude.
And how did you come to grasp onto that?
Well, my father said one day to stop watching TV and go and grab a book to read. So he said it was on top of the refrigerator in the kitchen. So I went in there and I looked, and there was the book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And in it, it had philosophy on different people and to be determined and to keep a positive mental attitude about yourself. And that's where I first learned it.
And have you maintained that PMA the whole time?
Yes, I have.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
How does one stay on that path if they're having a problem with it?
Well, at first, I would say they would have to make a decision. That's what they want to do. Then write it on a piece of paper and then put that paper in the book and don't come back to it for a year. Then after a year, open up the page that you had the message on and see how much you've developed to get there. And as far as it goes, no matter how hard things may be, just keep yourself positive and do it little by little. So if you have a day job or you might have an evening job, get that over with and then do the message a little bit. You don't have to do it at first, the whole thing.
That's my problem. I want it all to happen right then. I want to wake up and be happy. So you're saying we got to work at it.
Yes.
How long of a break did you take before this recent bout of shows that you've been doing?
Oh, it took about 2 years. 2 years break. I was working with the Bad Brains for about 30 years, since 1979.
Wow.
And we decided to do some shows, and we did a show. We came together for the last time in Chicago, and we went and played before at least 50,000 people.
Was that at the Riot Fest?
Yes, that was at the Riot
and
Fest.
And didn't Randy from Lamb of God sing with you too?
He did. He sang the rock songs, and I sang the reggae songs.
What is your take on freedom?
Well,
artistic freedom, like, because when I listen to you sing, I feel like you don't think about what's coming out of your voice. Yeah. It just happens.
Yes. Well, you have to be careful when you use the word freedom and when you're looking for freedom, because free can be dumb. And you find yourself going through a lot of just unnecessary behaviors and unnecessary how would you say individuals and their reaction to what you're acting at or what you're presenting. And like the song goes, reignition, it's when our action causes reaction, what starts. So what you got to do is keep on trying it with the right promotion and self-promotion and self-employment. And what that means is that you put your strength inside of you and don't worry about what people say. Just keep the PMA, and that'll help you go through.
But as far as singing is concerned, like on some of those early records, you're doing some wild stuff.
Yeah, I sure am.
Now, did that just come out of you? Or?
Well, it has a lot to do with the producer.
Okay.
Ron St. Germain is an example. He tested me and told me to do certain lines over and over and over again and again and again. And then when he finally heard what he wanted to hear, then he'd say, move on to the next line. Rock for Light was Rick Ocasek.
Okay, that's the Cars guy.
That's the one in the Cars.
Okay. And the very first LP.
That was Bad Brains. Yeah. Bad Brains. We did it, and it was engineered by a man named Jerry.
And that was in the house that you recorded in the house.
Yep.
Wait, and is it true? I saw in the documentary, were you singing outside of the house?
Well, Gary was playing his guitar outside, and I was down in the basement.
How does it feel to be on stage these days after doing it for so long?
Well, it feels. That's an interesting question. It feels like how do you say a bit tedious.
Yeah.
And it does play on the soul, and I keep my soul going positive, and it brings out the encouragement and the enthusiasm that I need, and the kids make it possible, because without them I wouldn't be able to do it.
So you're feeding off the energy of the crowd.
Yes.
When are you your most happy?
Well, I would say when I'm at home listening to music and just cooling out.
Yeah. It's a little less stressful than driving.
Yeah, it sure is.
Driving 5, 6, driving through Tahoe, down the mountains. What were you thinking when we were driving down that mountain?
Oh, man, it was a test, boy. I seen all these mountains and cliffs, and I started praying to the dear Lord. I say, oh, God, don't let this van have an accident. And
I remember looking over him because I was driving the van, and you were holding on to we call it the oh shit bar, because when you grab it, you say, oh shit. So he's holding on to the oh shit bar, and we're driving down the 50. We're about 8,000 feet up in Lake Tahoe, and we're driving down to Sacramento.
Yeah.
And it's just winding and winding and winding.
Yeah. That's through the power of God. That's the grace of God. We put our strength in him, and God makes it work out.
So he helped us that day.
Yeah, he sure did.
Helped us get down the mountain.
Yes, sire.
And then go to the grocery store and get some bagels, right?
Right.
For you, it's bagels and salad, right?
Yeah, sure is.
Do you consider yourself vegetarian?
Well, I like to consider myself a vegan.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've gone to the next extremity, and that is being a vegan, where I don't have any meat at all. No shrimp, no fish, and no tuna fish.
Do you notice when you eat animal products, do you notice if you feel differently?
Well, I do feel bloated a little bit, and I feel self-conscious about seeing this poor animal sliced up and then going down in my system.
Yeah.
The dead flesh,
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
It's John Joseph.
Yeah.
Your friend.
Yes.
Was on Rich Roll's podcast talking about it. He went on tour with the Brains in the early 80s.
Yes.
And he said after that, he stopped eating meat completely.
Yes.
And started looking at a higher power and changed his life around.
Yes.
How does it feel to know that you've had such a positive impact on so many people?
It felt good. I'm glad that it did. It shows me that somebody's listening to what I'm talking about, because not everybody understands. But when you meet one or two people that do understand, and they come up to you and say, thanks a lot, then it lets me know that somebody is listening. And that goes a long way with me. As long as someone is listening, that'll keep, and they share their enthusiasm with me. And that enthusiasm, it spreads, and it makes it consistent with what they're saying, and it goes to the next one, it goes to the next man, and to the next man, until you have a group of people, and then you say your message, say what it is you want to say, and have music to enhance it and to make it practical. and bring the idea to a reality, to a realistic view. And that's how it does. That's how it works.
So would you say that something like negativity could be contagious as well, like that?
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
So by avoiding that,
Yes.
life ultimately is better.
Yes. No doubt about it.